Okay, fire away.
Nick, what did you like about Tyrese's fourth quarter?
Well, I first thing I said to the coaching staff afterwards was he made a lot of plays in the fourth quarter, and one of them said he's pretty amazing. He can get 30 when he's not having a very good night, right? So he ended up having a really good night because he made a lot of big shots there late. So again, he's capable. He's explosive. He's capable of putting a run like that together at any time. And it was a good time tonight, and to stay with it. I think he was just in a great groove most of the night, but he came through when it mattered.
What went into the decision to go with Mo in the fourth quarter?
Well, I just didn't like the second quarter start. I didn't like any of the second quarter, actually. All right, but the start was. I thought we had a really good vibe in the game, and the vibe flipped at the start of the second. So I made a couple different changes to who came out in the fourth.
Nick, obviously it's early, but Joel was clearly favoring that leg at late in the fourth quarter. Any concern about that initially?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's. I don't have a lot of information for you. I did talk to Simon, and he said he did watch it on film. He said, We'll evaluate it here in a bit, and then we'll obviously reevaluate it again in the morning, because he said, well, that's kind of got to give it an overnight to see what happens to it and all that kind of stuff. So we'll update you when we can.
Did he indicate where it looked like it was his hip again?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was either. And I don't think it was his hip. I think it was lower than that. I think it was more like the knee. Yeah, more like lower thigh or knee. Yeah.
Just to go back to Mo, did you like what you saw from him? And I know it was a short stint, but did you like what you saw from him?
I mean, I did. I thought. I mean, he came really close to making a couple really good plays, but he went in there and grabbed 3 rebounds in 5 minutes. Again, I thought what I saw in the second was they just put their head down, went to the front of the rim, boom, 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 about 6 straight times, and I thought maybe we needed a little more appearance of some rim protection or some rim protection, right? Either one. But no, he did a good job. He was into it. I give him a lot of credit. He's really stayed positive, and he's really stayed ready, and he's really worked hard. And that's not that easy to come in a kind of a funky, tough game and kind of produce pretty good there for a good stretch. Yeah.
I guess to stay on rotation stuff, Kelly closing the game, and then also going with Marcus as kind of that off the bench wings. Kind of what went into the thought process on each one of those.
Yeah, just trying to read the game as it's going. I think that. For me, there's still some things to kind of figure out there in that back half of the rotation. But I think Marcus is very experienced. I think he's very physical, very tough. And he can make a, kick out face up 3. He's gonna shoot him with confidence. But saying that, it could be a couple other guys there too, right? It's not. It just kind of, we made that decision and we went with it. And I think he's played well, Marcus. He does give us some veteran presence out there. He does give us some physicality. Again, he almost made a couple more really good plays too. It didn't quite get done. Kind of like Mo had that offensive rebound tip in. Mo tips that in. That's like all of a sudden he probably had a really good game just with one big play with a close game like that. But again, everybody's got to stay ready. There's 12, 13 guys that could hit the floor any night, so stay ready's the theme.
Can you just talk about Kelly's toughness? Typically when a guy breaks they shy away from contact. This guy was all over the floor.
Yeah, sorry I didn't answer the second half of your question there, but no, it's good. I can with that. I mean, it's the same. Yeah, why did I go with Kelly and what talk about? I mean, he just looked again explosive to me. He was up the floor fast. He was at the rim for some cuts. He was he was on the glass. He was getting over screens, and that to me, he was refusing to get screened, and you got to throw your body into people to do that. So, I think pretty happy with where he is considering how long he's been out, just with his effort and conditioning, and he made some plays. Right, he got his hands on got his hands on the ball some. He thought he was just competing like that. It's okay.
Tyrese had another big scoring and sharing night, but with 0 turnovers. To do that as frequently as he does, how rare and important is it?
Well, I think it's really rare that he keeps racking up a good number of assists and isn't turning it over. And it's good. We hope he keeps doing it, right? I mean, I think it is rare, and it's interesting that he's handling lots of stuff. I do think that he did a pretty good job when, you know, it wasn't easy. We lost a lot of momentum. We lost a lot of rhythm in that game, and he kind of stayed at it and made sure we stayed in things and made some good play calls here and there, just a little different here and there, and most of those worked, which was good. Yeah.
Willing to brag about anything, Tyrese, scoring, assisting, but he will brag about no turnovers. Like, it's clear that he's taken a lot of pride in that. What does that say about a young player?
It says he's probably a coach's son. Probably a coach's son. Is he? Yeah, he is, right? Yeah, he is. Yeah, good. That's good. All right, thanks, everybody.
Real funky in the second quarter. Sheesh. But no, they it was a couple of times where they just caught the ball and just rose up and like shot a 3. So he was kind of like upset with us because of that. And like, you know, they can't just not dribble the ball and just rise up and shoot a 3. Something's wrong with your thing. And rise up and shoot a 3. But, you know, I think all of the rest of the quarters, holding them under 25, that's like pretty, you know, elite defense in the NBA. So if we can just get the funky quarter out of there, then we'll be good.
What allowed you to kind of flip the switch in the fourth quarter for yourself?
Yeah, I just wanted to be extremely aggressive. I didn't like how I played, like at the beginning of my that second unit stint in the second quarter. I feel like I just was out there and I wasn't like aggressive. I wasn't demanding the ball, and I wasn't gonna let that happen twice. So it was better at the beginning of the fourth, and then got a quick break and got to go back in and hit a big shot and make some free throws and got some stops and we won. So it was great.
Does your mindset change when you see Joe kind of grab the knee and everything? It looked like you really took control after that.
I mean, I wouldn't say it changed. I just know a couple plays. You know, he told me to kind of be more aggressive. You know, just so he can get a little break in there. And then we played a little 2-man game, got him a couple shots. But he's on me like all the time about shooting and being aggressive, and it's like because I think he feels like if I'm aggressive, then it's gonna open up more looks for him. So we're trying to do that.
In the first quarter, Joel kind of pointed at you, and then on an inbound pass, you weren't the guy bringing it up for a couple possessions, but somebody else that you were kind of sprinting off at DHO.
Right.
What were you guys seeing on that set that kind of inspired that?
Yeah, he could tell me when I'm not going to get the ball, I'd be demanding sometimes. But we have multiple guys that can bring it up and then get into a different action to where I play on the second side. I can't really remember exactly why he was yelling at that moment. He does it the whole, throughout the whole game. So I don't really remember at that moment why he was doing that. But, I think he came out extremely aggressive. He set the tone. He was extremely aggressive, going right at, their bigs and doing Joel things.
Stretches throughout the season when it's like you and then kind of a collection of reserve players. Right. And there's been different guys in and out of those groups all season just because of injuries and the trade and everything. Just with the group tonight, that sort of did launch you guys in the fourth quarter. Right. How do you go about building chemistry quickly with new players, no matter who's in and out of the lineup on a given night?
The coaches do a good job of while we practice. Sometimes Joel will go down to the other side, and then I'll go down this side, and he'll send players and send guys all over the place. It's not just 1, 2, 2, 3 groups. We mix and match, and I think that's testimony to them. That's smart on their part because they know that it's going to be different lineups in there, and so everybody knows what we're trying to do. Everybody knows what the end goal is, and everybody knows what we're doing offensively and defensively. So it works out for us.
Like Mo comes in, who hadn't played in the first half, hasn't played a ton in the season. Does it feel just like, oh, okay, he's in the game now? Like that, just from your perspective?
Yeah, you gotta know. Mo pops a little bit sometimes. He rolls a little bit. You gotta know how to play with both Mo, Puri, sometimes Marcus at the 5, big fella. So I feel like we've done a great job of mixing in guys. So that's kudos to coach.
I asked Nick about how much pride you take in your 0 turnover nights, and his response was that he assumed your dad was a coach. We confirmed that for him. Is there truth there in terms of how much pride you take in that statistic?
Yes. My dad was a coach, and he was a coach that didn't like turnovers. So he always tells me a story. They won state. I was not able to win state. But when he won state in his state championship run in Texas, now you have to win 7 games. But then you have to win like 5 games. And throughout his 5 games, he had 1 turnover. So he'll always bring that up to me, like, man, when we won the championship, you know, I was the lead guard and I didn't turn the ball over. You know, I had these many assists, blah, blah, blah. He brags on himself all the time. But, you know, that it's very important, though, now that we really think about it. And now that I've played in, I think, 3 playoffs, 6 playoff series, I know that sometimes the game comes down to that. 1 turnover, 2 turnovers, that can be like those little breakout layups, you know, they can really come back and haunt you. So taking care of the ball is going to be extremely important for us down the stretch.
But at the same time, like, turnovers can be something that aren't in your hand necessarily, out of your control sometimes. I guess there's something that you do to mitigate that and try to, like, you know, avoid risky plays?
Sometimes I just try to pass the ball to our team jerseys. Like, I honestly, it's like the open man, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as he's open, I try to get it to him. And, like, if I could do that sometimes, then it really helps us. And Joel, sometimes, you know, getting him the ball in traffic is interesting things happen with Joel. But, no, he's been great, though. And, you know, I just try to make plays for myself, make plays for my teammates, and it's been working for us.
Hello.
Game 1 back to game 2 back, how much different did it feel? How much more comfortable did you feel? Just sort of how you assess the comparison?
My defense felt a lot better. I was able to kind of catch up to speed early and, you know, impact the game on that end. And I was really happy with that. It kind of was a slow start, but in the fourth quarter it picked up and we were able to get some stops and go on that 15-0 run at the end to win the game, and that's what it's all about. But offensively, I'm still finding my rhythm and my pace, but you know, I can hoop, so we'll find it, and I'm confident in that.
Are there like certain movements that you do that you kind of feel any kind of pain in your rib area, or?
Whenever they stiff arm or have this going or anything like that, I feel it, but I'm blessed to be healthy and on the mend, so it doesn't affect me at all.
Have you been more mindful of that, just like on drives when you're going into the paint, or is your mentality been the same?
I think I would say I'm a little timid. I'm not trying to force it and be super physical, but every time I test it and it doesn't hurt, I know that I can do it. I unlock that in my head, and that's kind of how this whole process has been. So, I'll continue to just ramp up and get more physical.
You said pregame that the rotations starting the line can still kind of be switched around and things like that. What's your mindset? I guess compared from coming off the bench to starting. I guess how do you prepare for things like that?
I try to be water. I'm 27, turning 28 tomorrow, man, and I got a lot in my tank though. I really want to hoop. I want to help this team do well, and I want to be up there with the guys and compete. So. The coach is a genius, though. He knows how to play. He knows how to coach the game. He knows how to put people in the right places. So I trust him, and I just want to win. I'm here to win.
That point, there are some teammates that you hadn't played with a lot because they came over in the trade, and then you got hurt kind of right at the same time. So what is that like, kind of trying to build some chemistry with guys who weren't in camp that you hadn't played with a ton, that now you're kind of on the floor together with them?
Yeah, it's difficult, of course, but, they are all basketball players, and, we can all adapt to each other. I played against them enough to know. And, they came in right away and fit in. So at the end of the day, it's not like they're doing anything. They have anything different than our scheme and our plan for our whole team is. So it's pretty seamless, I would say. There's a lot of veteran guys as well, so they can teach me some things and I can learn from them as well.
You got a nice ovation when you were introduced this side of the field to be in front of the home crowd again.
It was love, man. I appreciate all the support from the fans, all the support from, my teammates, my coach. It's just surreal, man, and I don't want to get hurt again because I feel bad that, they have to show me love off of something so kind of weird and tragic. But, at the end of the day, man, I'll pay it forward and I'll go hard each and every game I step on the court.
Gaining rhythm and everything, is there any substitute from just playing in games to get that back, or is it just a matter of getting those reps?
I was doing a lot of running. I'm not gonna lie, in my rehab, and I feel like that really helped me, have a good wind and be in shape right when I came back. So, shout out to the training staff and everybody who got me right. And yeah, but there's no substitute for game simulation, of course. But we all, as basketball players, know that. But I feel fine. I feel great.
Outside of the second quarter, I guess how would you kind of rate you guys defensively?
I would say probably a C. we're really, we're much better than that. This Hawks team was undermanned, with not having Trey. So I think we kind of have this thing where we, I wouldn't even say every team in the NBA is good, but we don't bring that same attentiveness as if we're playing, somebody else. And it has nothing to say that, that's within us, right? It's not within anybody else, and we just have to come locked in and focus every night. Love stuff. Thank you, guys.